jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Saying that you're the best, you gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy, is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back
First in the building, Juice Lee on deck. Salute to you. This is gonna be one of those drive-bys. You know what I'm saying? That's all. This live is gonna be a drive-by. You know, I want to touch bases on something because you know everything I do is with a purpose, especially when I'm being voiceful about it. So I know a lot of cats was hitting me up behind the scenes on this particular live. It went down after I did a live on I.O.T.B.A situation with disloyal to the boxing game. And look, I've been calling that dude disloyal to the boxing game forever and a day. You know what I'm saying? Forever and a day. I call that dude Kwame disloyal to the boxing game. You know, listen, a situation played out, and we've been seeing that shit play out. Situations like this play out in public for the longest of time with people just snitching on people. And then they always try to come up with a fan-friendly way to freaking put a reason out there as to why they did what they did. Okay, I can see if your life was in danger. I can see if you wasn't raised in that environment. I mean, it's a whole lot of variables to put in place. But this wasn't it. This wasn't it. Because, see, for me, and this goes to both of Kwame and I.O.T.B.A, right? For me, I'm not the type of nigga that just because, we ain't cool with one another, I don't have anything good to say about a situation. The way I analyze and look at things with what God blessed me with will be quite different than the way you look at things in life. I'm not saying that you're any less of intelligence than me. I just always had a broad sense of imagination. And when things pop up, then I talk about it or I act on it or whatever I got going on. So in this particular case, heading into July 29th, I just felt it was always one of those moments that would never be given the proper send-off that it deserved. So that's why I did the live on the way I did, because I felt like, just think about it. Just think about it, right? Nothing that I told you all was lies in this particular situation. And shout out to Dion Washington. Salute to you. What's good with it, big dog? Big blunts and boxing on deck. Salute. Nothing I told you in that live stream was live. I didn't go into detail about, everything else about, Derrick James, I.O.T.B. talking about Derrick James stealing fighters and all that. I knew about all the stuff that was being said back then. Like I said, I used to do a little article writing and hang out in the group on Facebook and all that shit for a very brief period. But the one situation that I look back on is, something that I hold near and dear to my heart is just making sure you understand the niggas that's around you. Now I'm saying, like, little inventory is better than a lot of inventory. You know what I'm saying? The quantity of your inventory when it comes to your life is extremely important. We're not talking about the inventory that your materialistic shit. We're talking about the inventory of people that you keep around you that can change your progress and where you're going. They can change that shit up. It's always, it's so evident. It's so natural today for motherfuckers to be around you and be snakes. and absolutely be snakes. So like I said back in the day with I.O.T.B.A and the whole situation, the 214. Back then, he was the one that was popping on Facebook. He was doing his thing on Facebook. Real talk. And I didn't know you lost a son, big dog. You know what I'm saying? Salute to you. Blessings. I lost a son too. And you know what I'm saying? And I heard you keep on reiterating you ain't cool with me. Bro, you don't have to keep on telling people that. My my purpose for telling the story was to get to where I was going with July 29th. That's where I was at with it. You know what I'm saying? We ain't never had a moment in life except when we was at the weigh-ins and you was cool with me. Okay. And you was cool with me. You know what I'm saying? So stop telling people you ain't cool with a nigga just because you easily get influenced. You feel me? That's not the way I did the live for. So shout out to E Thriller, the Black Picasso, man. He did a very solid one with this live the other night. Why? Why was it solid? Because after I did the live, the meeting of the minds came together on the panel. You had a panel full of solid brothers there for a common reason, man. You know what I'm saying? The common reason ended up being that it was a situation that was left unfinished for a long period of time that affected boxing over there in Texas. It did. I know I can be sarcastic about a lot of shit, but this ain't it. Because I had the understanding, I had the travels to go along with it, from the social media to actual text and see the shit play out and, see what happened to me when them niggas was on lockdown and I.O.T.B.A had them niggas on blackout. Them niggas couldn't call me a shit because I ain't go check in or whatever. And them niggas was seated. They were seated. They couldn't goddamn, they didn't have permission to communicate anything. Why? Because I.O. had the access. And to me, that's the beautiful part about this part of history that never happened, man. And when I spoke on the story, like I said, I'm always I'm always looking at it as, just putting events together to tell stories, to put stories out there. And that was a hellified story that never happened. Once again, you know how you hear about athletes and they're very talented and they never make it to where they were supposed to go because of whatever situation that happened to them, whether a female, they got pregnant or they had a criminal case or they end up, they just having some incident, not so much their life being taken, but it was an incident that caused them not to go to the next level. It could have been a friend of theirs that they grew up with, and they was the one that was making it out of the hood. They was the one that was progressing, but yet they allowed that one friend that wasn't progressing, that hung around. He was up to no good, end up getting both of them locked up. You know what I'm saying? Not so much locked up in confinement, so to speak, but locked up in a situation that ruined the further progress, the travels of these individuals. And that's what I see with Kwame and I.O.T.B.A. But I.O.T.B.A is not without fault though. But in this live stream, Kwame and I.O.T.B.A came together to social squabble. They came together to social squabble, to figure it all out, to get it all out in the open. And look, anybody who know me, whenever Kwame was on ETB's live and all that, I always say disloyal to the boxing game. Nigga, you disloyal. Because I remember how you quickly freaking, switched up and how you always just talking and acting like people ain't paying attention to what you do. I always thought you was that nigga that would do what you did. Real talk, man. I don't know you like that, but instinctively, I trust what God blessed me with. Instinctively, I felt that you was him, and you proved me right. You proved me right, man. Like, if y'all check out the live stream that happened yesterday, it was very productive in a way that it sort of kind of closed some doors on a situation that made I.O.T.B.A look worse than what it actually was, per what Kwame put that shit out about him. It made him look real bad because there's just too many areas to travel on this topic. Okay. So I want you to listen to a little bit of the audio so we can kind of get an understanding as to why I did my live leading up to this fight July 29th. Because I just felt like, yeah, I.O. said what he said, but he did have some valid points with Kwame. He was like, why the fuck you put this shit out there? If in-house could be internal to Texas doesn't mean it's on social media. So I get what I.O. is talking about. Why did you put it out there? Then everybody didn't need to know that. If it was some regional shit going on, man, and I know a lot of motherfuckers and this and that, and people talk about how the boxing community is small, it still isn't social media. Because nigga, you can blow shit up 15 times worse than what it was when you put something out on social media. And for the whole time, we was hearing different stories about shit, you know, how it all went down. I remember the first time I heard, right? That was the day that, look, if a nigga like me would have been soft, I would have been in the freaking locker room too, nigga. I would have been in the locker room too, but I was like, huh? Ain't wearing no motherfucking Errol Spence shirt. I ain't up here for that. You know what I'm saying? I came up here to see the boxing. But I was denied entry based off severed communications because we had spoken, real talk. We had spoken prior to me coming to Texas. Yeah, me, you know what I'm saying? And the whole clan, I.O.T.B.A, freaking, you know, Kwame supposed to be in the picture, Stephen Pope, you know. And then when I got up there, like I said, I was with my son and all that shit. And I was like, man, I got other shit going on. I guess I all felt some type of way. And look, this is not even about me and him. It's about the fact that finally disloyal to the boxing game for once in his life came out and apologized for what he did, because he had some solid niggas on the panel holding his ass to the motherfucking charcoals, nigga. He finally found it in himself. Damn. You know what I'm saying? 5 years, 5. That's close to 7. You know, he might have been holding that shit on his chest for a long time. But anyway, I could have been in the locker room, but no, I wasn't going to be in the locker room. And when I heard that, you know, I.O.T.B.A was up there hyping up the scene like he always do, a lot of you niggas was fans of that shit back in the day. Strolling up my articles, what do I see? And then, you know, that was his shit. That was his opener, right? That was his motherfucking opener. So for hating ass Derek ass James to say, nah, don't have that shit. Hey, I.O., his instinct was on point at that point in time, because Derek James is a hater. Listen, nigga, I'm telling you straight up what I feel, man. That nigga's a hater, bro. Not only that, it's a reason why EJ didn't like that nigga initially, and he didn't want that dude as a coach. It was initially that. Real talk. So I.O.T.B had an instinct that he just drove home, right? He just drove home the wrong way, because he had a snail of a nigga that was around him that was looking to suck up the motherfucking space. He wanted the spot. So when Errol Spence, man, salute to Spence. As much shit as I talk about him, I love to see solid shit. And look, I told niggas, right? I told cats that when it came down to, you know, when you know you right, you're right. When you know you're wrong, a grown man, okay, I apologize for that shit. But when Spence said, "No, man, let him talk." See, this is what I was trying to explain to y'all when in that picture, that in order for you to get a boxer as a content creator to lounge with you like that, that's what a lot of niggas want. They don't want, it's not all about the clout. It's just the whole fact you're that close to a dangerous ass nigga. This dude is an elite fighter, and you're that close to him to the point where he trusts you, bro, as a content creator. I said the same thing to when you look at Showtime in his position with Jihad, you look at YSM Sport. I told you, Mill, this on the phone. I said, hey, no matter my criticism of Boots, his resume, a lot of niggas want to be where you're at. And these dudes are doing an outstanding job. See what I.O.T.B.A was, he was even closer than that, though. He was way closer to Spence than anybody could be, though. And if Spence is gonna take up for this, look, Spence took up for this nigga, man, in the eye of other people that are somebody. He had a whole lot of important somebodies in that motherfucking locker room. He had a lot of people that was somebody. And Spence said, nah, man, you know, let him talk, let him do his shit. That's what I.O.T.B.A was doing back then. Let him talk his shit. He took up, he defended, he advocated for a nigga, right? He advocated for a nigga, right? Like a nigga that was constantly going hard. You know, every other time Spence could do no wrong. He was impenetrable. He was immortal. Nobody can beat motherfucking Spence back in the day, per I.O.T.B.A's words. But Derrick James, I agree with what they were saying on the panel. Derrick James felt some type of way, nigga. Derrick James felt some type of way that Errol Spence checked his ass and said, "No, let my nigga rock, man. Let him do what he do." You know what I'm saying? What if he's the hype man? Let him be the motherfucking hype man. Let him be the motherfucking hype man. Now I always said to myself that the I.O. is gonna crash and burn no matter what runway he tried to take off from. I said that to myself because he just had that personality. But to have a fighter like Spence advocate for you in the presence of other niggas that's there, grown as important niggas that's there, for him to advocate and say, "Nah, man, what you doing? Let him talk his shit, man. I'm about to go up here in my hometown." You know, maybe Spence was like, "Shit, I need a motherfucker to motivate me." Derrick can't motivate me. The locker room all quiet and shit. Motherfuckers goddamn looking for some energy. He was giving them the energy. And then Derrick tried to shut it down. Unfortunately, they always say that about black people, right? That we tear down one another without even really analyzing the situation and see where it can go first. Just because we impulsively just want to make a command decision and say, nah, fuck that, man. I don't want that nigga there. I've seen it. I felt it. I've been a part of it. I know a lot of niggas when I was supporting Deontay Wilder, I tell them they'll see me around, and then I start hearing shit behind the back. I say, I don't even know the nigga. I never even met that nigga. I don't know him. And they was wondering how WCS was going around getting this shit because I'm making 1,000 phone calls by myself, nigga. What's a phone call? Communications. But my people was sitting up here saying what they were saying because you had a lot of niggas didn't know nothing about me. But see, people knew about I.O.T.B.A. They knew about him on Facebook. And one thing I would say that he said he brought forward a lot of niggas back in the day. A lot of niggas used to tune in to him back in the day. He didn't bring me along. Let's get that straight. He didn't bring me along. Don't get that twisted. But a lot of other niggas, he can say he brought along because people was like, oh man, if it wasn't a full blown out freaking argument going on Facebook Live, the nigga used to have the shit lit. I.O.T.B. used to have the motherfucking lit over there with controversy, or just straight up talking about Spence can jump off a 20-foot building and don't even bend his knees when he land, and he okay, and he can shadow box right there. You know what I'm saying? But the disloyalty that played out, nigga, let's talk about disloyalty. The disloyalty sometimes don't even have an expiration date to it. These niggas been talking about this shit has been sitting for 5 years, dog. And the only reason I became a part of it is just, you know, I was on the grind. I was low crawling. I was in the little boxing trenches doing what I was doing. I wasn't even heavy on YouTube yet. I was just going around doing Facebook Lives, talking about boxing. And then, you know, I was over there and I asked I.O.T.B.A, I said, you want to do some boxing artists? Because back then I was still writing pretty decent. You know what I'm saying? I had a motivation, a hunger to do that. But his group wasn't interested in that. They was busy about arguing and shit. Arguing, fussing, bickering, whatever the case. It was that type of energy. I ain't complaining. It was just that type of energy in that Facebook group. So, I mean, you had niggas over there, trying to build up Facebook groups, just trying to get these big ass numbers. And then you had motherfuckers ganging up on you if you didn't like this particular fighter. But what I did know is that I.O.T.B.A had many people come over there that are now on YouTube. Many people like myself that saw the shit back then when it was in the maturation stages. You know what I'm saying? When it was maturing, so to speak. And it was going through that. So along with that, I used to see Kwame. Yeah, I used to see a whole lot of niggas that I just nah. You know what I'm saying? Hey, one thing I'll say about Corey, pretty much what he gave you is what you got. You know he was gonna be boisterous, you know what I'm saying, and loud. You know what I'm saying? That's what you was getting. So if you choose to hang out with a nigga like that, then you can't complain about the way the nigga acting at a certain particular time. If that's what drew you in, the controversy, and this nigga over here arguing with thousands of people, and you chose to hang around the nigga knowing he arguing with thousand people, don't get mad when you and him get into an argument. Don't be mad, dog. You can't give me Kwame. Well, you start disrespecting me, nigga. He's a disrespectful dude. What do you thought you were gonna stand in the middle of the intersection with traffic and don't get hit, nigga? It was only a matter of time. If all the lights was green and there was no red light, nigga, it was bound a matter of time you're gonna get your ass ran over too. But that was no reason for you to sit up there and hold this shit for 5 years based off what you did. And see, shout out to the panel of solid niggas that pulled it out of this brother. You know what I'm saying? Because you gotta have look, if you in a selective group of solid motherfuckers that's gonna goddamn hold you to that shit, like they tone of voice tell you, no, nigga, no, I'm trying to get down to this. Ain't a motherfucker on the panel laughing. I'm trying to get down to it. What really happened? No, man, no. This funny. Any other niggas on here laughing? Kwame stayed his ass on the panel though. He didn't bitch out and run. But him staying on the panel and then finally, Corey coming on the panel and end up being something positive at the end of the day, because I can't tell you how many times I've heard this story. Different people talk about this story. I can't tell you all the shit that came out on this live stream with E3 the Black Picasso, how shit was out there in social media and people believed it was true. Shout out to Gumbo, man. Mr. Hot Grease, aka Mr. Sucker Free. Salute to you. A lot of niggas believe this shit was true, dog. And then the nigga that was right there, Kwame, you could have fixed all this. You could have not put a band-aid on it. You could have healed that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? You could have healed it. You know what I'm saying? Not just continue to rip a band-aid off and let the salt be put in the wound and let this shit continue to fester for 5 freaking years, dog. There's some shit that I heard on there that I didn't even know. If you with a nigga the entire time and people saying that at that point in time, somebody possibly put hands on them or whatever the case may be, and you didn't defend it, you say, okay, well, I ain't really feeling this nigga right now, but I know that didn't happen. I'm the type of nigga that'll say that shit. I don't have to fuck with you to tell the truth or to be real about it. Like, you could have put this out a long time ago that a nigga didn't knock him out, or he didn't get in no fight. But let's listen to something right quick, bro.
that he was hurting everyone and he was on an 11 knockout winning streak. Once he decided that
Be
he was
patient.
going to go away from that, and maybe he got I don't know how much money he was making or not making, but as he said, he went astray for a bit. He said it. The boxing public saw it. We have social media. We all saw it. So I don't know how y'all trying to blame.
Okay, so that was him on the back end of explaining, because like I said, some solid niggas on there saying, you know, when you saw Spence in there doing this, why? Because you got the VIP pass. You know, World Combat Sports, WCS wasn't a part of that VIP pass because I do me. You know what I'm saying? And just because I didn't check in right along, I didn't get the platinum fanfare experience. You know, so he's talking about how he was in the club via courtesy of I.O.T.B.A. and what he's seeing going on with Spence. And niggas on the panel like, so you seen the shit go on and you didn't say nothing about it, nigga? You let the shit go on knowing damn well like that's fucked up. You know, he shouldn't be out here doing this, but it's a tough situation. Not everybody's cut out to make that decision. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody cut out, especially a nigga who was looking for I.O.T.B.A. spot. You know what I'm saying? He was looking for the spot. So he wasn't going to fuck it up with Spence just yet. He had to goddamn wait for the right time. You know what I'm saying? The right time to goddamn slice him at the ankles, cut that Achilles tendon.
I think he heard the question, bro. Go ask this nigga again, Big Fish.
Nah, you said that you was a guest and you didn't feel comfortable of overstepping your boundaries
because you really didn't know Earl.
Because you didn't know Earl, but it's alleged that you did something. You told Earl something else that was outside your boundaries, but you chose to cross that boundary.
What did I say to Earl?
I'm at.
See, when niggas pressing you like this, you gotta respect it, because look, this is at a moment where language is everything, and Cat is explaining to him like, dude, in one breath, you saying you didn't really want to cross that line and you know, question Arrow about what he was doing in his social time. You know what I'm saying? Because you wanted to be in with the in crowd, but yet and still you felt it was cool to cross over another boundary. You know what I'm saying? And send some type of information. Now they're asking him, okay, so you sent it to Arrow, and then Kwame want to play semantics about it. You know what I'm saying? He want to tiptoe when knowing damn well he should have just said, fuck it. It's time for me to MAN-UP.
You as a reporter.
First off, I never spoke to him. As I said, I was part of the entourage. I was I.O.T.B.A.
Okay, courtesy of I.O.T.B.A. Kwame, courtesy of I.O.T.B.A. Kwame was a part of the entourage, y'all. The entourage. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who did the security screening or who did the background check. They ass should be fucking fired. For real. And they owe you money, I.O.T.B.A. Because like I said before, I think the brother, if he could have maintained and tighten up, nigga, you should have been on that PJ instead of the nutritionist.
Y'all want me to say it? So you ain't never spoke to Earl Spence about anything in between with you, I.O.T.B.A. You ain't never said nothing.
No, I never said shit to Earl about that. I know what y'all bringing up. I never spoke to Earl about that.
So how did Earl find out, if you don't mind the action?
See, this nigga Kwame, man. And nigga, listen to me, Kwame. Nigga, you are wrong, bro. Look, if I pass a message to a bitch to get to a nigga, right? And I'm talking about that nigga, but I'm passing a message to a bitch to get to a nigga instead of me going directly to the nigga, right? I'm wrong. I'm talking about him and I'm talking to him, but I'm just using an indirect way for the message to be passed because it's some bitch assness going on. So I rather went through her so she can deliver it to him, and then the nigga come to me instead of me just going direct A to B. Hey, I don't know if you know that. You know what I'm saying? Just address it. You knew that you passing information to his people. You're absolutely talking to him. Why are you calling it his people if you're not talking to him? It don't matter. If you're passing information to his people, But you allowing these cats to ask you more than one fucking time, 2, 3, and you saying I didn't talk to Arrow. I didn't talk to Arrow. Nigga, you did. You passed information through a third, fourth, fifth party to get to Arrow. And that's exactly what happened, nigga. That's exactly what you wanted to happen.
I'm not gonna open up and make
why? This shit is all over the internet, bro. So why not? Go ahead.
Hold on a second, because that shit is like 5 years old.
I don't give a fuck how old it is.
Right. So that's just like 5 years old. So
okay.
I'm not gonna come on here.
What's the point? What's your point?
The point is exactly what I'm saying.
So you don't want to talk about it. You sound like you're guilty to me, bro.
No, listen, I stand on what I did. I did
okay,
what I did.
I'm asking you, what did
you guys know what I did, and there was a live about what I did, and I came out and I spoke about everything on the live.
I didn't hear you. So
but that's why social media shit ain't erased. If you look it up, you'll find it. What I'm saying.
But nigga, I'm asking you.
See, shout out to the Black Picasso, because his blackness did not show his face right then. This is some real nigga shit where they was just talking calmly, and Kwame was trying to finagle and slither his way out of a room full of vipers. You know what I'm saying? He was like, oh, it's social media. If you look on social media, you could do this. No, nigga, you on my platform. We're trying to get down to the business, and you're trying to slither your way around shit without answering direct questions. So, bitch, nigga, you ain't goddamn telling me to go do homework. I want to hear from you. You the one who's there, right? You the one who did it. Why the hell you want me to go look some shit up and we on live? So you rather, hold up, everybody. Let's take 5 minutes and let me look this up. It's not going to happen. And that's just going to show you, in the presence of some niggas that was pressing him for info, Kwame was still doing the same thing that got I.O.T.B.A banned. Real talk. He was doing the same shit, bro.
Right now, what did you do? Because we want to know, because you said you couldn't tell Errol Spence shit about him drinking, which I find kind of odd if this really your guy. But then you turn around and shit about what I.O. said allegedly about Earl and Derrick James. So make it make sense.
We'll fucking wait.
We will fucking wait. Go ahead, bro.
Like I said, two completely different situations.
How?
I'm explaining it, right? Two completely different situations, and the issue that went on was a problem between I.O.T.B.A and I that sparked that. The I.O.T.B.A and I were cool like brothers, and there was a situation. I'm not going to air it all out at the dirty laundry because that's old. But him and I had a problem. I.O.T.B.A and I had a problem, and shit went the way it went. It had two different things, and I'm man enough.
So you didn't tell Earl Spence nothing?
No, I didn't. I never spoke to her. No, I never.
So I.O. told on himself.
No. I just.
So how did Earl Spence find out?
Like I said, I know how to. If I need a message to be relayed, I can get it relayed. But I just
see that's the bitch asses I'm talking about. Kwame, real talk, bro. This nigga Black Picasso has asked you numerous of times already, and he's not even dropping the N-word on your ass. He ain't dropping obscenities or nothing. Like, this is real nigga conversation that's going on, and you busy trying to tiptoe to the left, tiptoe to the right. This ain't electric slide, nigga. People was asking you to goddamn posture up and goddamn tell them the real fucking story. That's all they wanted you to do, and you just man, stop it, bro. For once in your life, man, stop trying to. Man, they was looking for you to goddamn man up and be honest with you, with everybody that was there listening, and also with the person that you was with at one point in time, and y'all was supposed to be cool, that you stabbed in the back, nigga, with a goddamn axe.
Okay, so you told somebody else that told Earl.
Yeah.
Because we're going to get to the bottom of it. It's a yes or no, bro. You got to.
Picasso said it's a yes or no, bro. You told somebody else and then got back to Earl, and Kwame was like, shit, this nigga got me. Oh, fuck. This nigga got me. This nigga too smart. God damn it, I didn't prepare for this. This nigga too smart. God damn, this nigga smart.
answer for everything else. Why you can't answer?
That's pretty obvious. It got to him, right? I'm saying I didn't speak to him directly.
Okay, so why did you feel like it was cool for you to go run your mouth and tell another nigga to go tell Earl some shit when you claim you was in the club with this nigga, you was watching him self-destruct, and you didn't feel comfortable with saying, hey, yo, tell this nigga to stop drinking, or hey, can somebody else go? Why you didn't do that with that?
First off, you had bits and pieces. So
no, he didn't have bits and pieces. He had nuggets, okay, grand and nuggets to the scheme of things, and he was presenting them to you, and you was pretty much trying to dip off in the shadows, bro. It's all wrong, man. The way they pressed you was how it's supposed to be done without dudes losing their life. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that over other simple topics than this. And I think they was addressing you as grown fucking men, bro. But you know, grown fucking man shit is not for everybody. Just because you can speak and you age appropriate in life doesn't mean your mentality is gonna allow you to answer shit as a grown fucking man, bro. He's asking you over and over again, how did the information get back to Spence, nigga? How did it get back to him? This is real life shit. Spence about to head in here July 29th. It's a nigga that could have been a part of the entourage if he tightened up his edges and smooth his edges too. But you helped the situation. Nigga could have been right there from the time that you all was beefing. I mean, what put that back 5 years ago to now. It could have been different when you're talking about content creators and the shit that's going on right now, July 29th. That's what content creators in a nutshell live for. It could have been a whole lot of other different story. Why? Because I said Spence was taken up for the nigga. He felt trust from him. But you as a brother, you saw him in a position. You got solid cats up here pressing you for information. You tiptoeing around that motherfucker. I mean, it's not even like they being disrespectful to you. They just giving you scenarios. Hey, check this out. You felt it was okay to watch Spence do this and self-destruct in the club, but you didn't find it okay. I mean, you found it okay not to cross those boundaries in the club and say something, but yet you'll go over here and say this on this side, right? You felt more comfortable over here. That's legitimate questions. That's legitimate questions for answers, bro. And you just showing your side. That's all. You showing your side, man.
First off, you had bits and pieces. So
that's why I'm asking you to break it down. Go ahead. We ain't got nothing to talk.
So I'll elaborate to a certain extent because I'm not the kind of person, as I said, that situation happened so long ago. I'm not trying to make it into a big thing today, but I'll elaborate because you asking me questions, right?
I mean,
I'm a real enough dude to even what went on between I.O.T.B.A. and myself. I still came out and said that it was that man who did that for me, right?
Kwame trying to build up himself because he's been freaking bent over. You know what I'm saying? With his hand on his head. Stop. This is too much. No, we were just asking you simple ass questions, Kwame. And you're trying to now give a freaking intro to come to the truth, the reality. Oh man, I'm a real enough person. I'll tell you this, I'll tell you that. Niggas not asked you 20 times already to get to the point that you're trying to tiptoe into. They've asked you several times already. Dude, tell us what's up. And you keep talking about, well, it's old, man. That shit's old. Don't we talk about a lot of old shit in life? If it wasn't for the past, will we have the present? Will we have the future? So what you was doing is just trying to be a little bit, showing your coward side, you know what I'm saying? And not owning up to the niggas that was pressing you for answers. And I.O.T.B. was out there lurking. You knew it.
T.B.A. and I were cool. Like, cool. Like, talked on the phone every day, cool, for a long time. And he became very disrespectful, right? And he did shit that I didn't really agree with, but I still rocked with him, even though I didn't agree with it. And then once he disrespected me and showed me that he could do the same shit to me that he would do to other people, I was just like, oh, fuck it then. Fuck it. And for me, I'm just like this. E-Thriller, if I come on your show and I say, you know what, E-Thriller, you know what, I started my YouTube. I couldn't get on without you. Thanks so much. And every moment I see you, I'm saying E-Thriller this, E-Thriller that. You my dude, you my dude, you my dude to everyone. And then the first time that you say, hey, you know what, Kwame, I can't do X, Y, and Z for you this time.
Let me take the brush out a little bit, dip it in there for this paint, because you might get a little bit confused as to how he's trying to paint. But not everybody's a Picasso. You feel me? But check this out. Kwame is trying to paint the picture leading up to the point of him talking negative about Team Spence. You know what I'm saying? So he was around when maybe he was privy to some information about I.O.T.B. speaking about Team Spence. Not so much Team Spence, but in a way that Derrick James, being who he is, caused I.O.T.B.A. to speak on something. And then this particular person, Kwame Brown, was privy to that himself. He was a bystander, onlooker. Yeah, he was a hitchhiker to the information. And he felt, damn, I know how this nigga is. I seen him act out on Facebook. I know what his temperature is. But all of a sudden, oh, hold up. The energy comes Kwame way. He said, oh, hell no. Nigga, I was hanging around you for the freaking limelight and to go to the club, the VIP, to hang out with you and Spence, go in the locker room, do all this shit. But now time it gets a little testy. This nigga Kwame said, nah, I wasn't here for that. That wasn't the part of the fan experience. That wasn't a part of it right there. That wasn't a part of the experience. This is where I draw the line there, I.O.T.B.A. As I draw the line as Kwame.
Just chill. And then I go and then start throwing dirt on your name to people that I was just telling, hey, you know what? E-Thriller is the man. E-Thriller is cool. That's some bullshit. I mean, that's just what it is. And I'm not going to go all the way into detail, but that's how the situation went. And everyone had their side of the story. My side, his side, and the truth.
So what did I.O. do?
I'm just, all I'm saying is,
did you hear me? I asked you, what did I.O. do?
I really, like, again, it's not that
it seemed like you at the doctor's office, bro. I swear to God. It seemed like you at the doctor's office. All he asked, what did I.O. do? Why? Because you wouldn't tell them if you sent information to Spence. You say, no, you didn't send information. You didn't speak to Spence directly, but yet you did speak to him indirectly. But now he's going on the other route. You know what I'm saying? Hey, what did I.O. do? Okay. I mean, come on, bro. How long does it take?
Have a real problem with just saying it. It's just like I said before. It's so old, and to bring it up, and I know I.O.T.B.A. is watching. I'm just not into drama like that. You know what I'm saying?
Man, the truth is easy to remember, bro. The truth is easy to remember.
Right. Well, the truth is very easy to remember, but also having some integrity and not just doing things because you're on social media to show off or to get some likes or to throw somebody under the bus again.
Okay, so wait a minute. Well, okay, so let's stop. Hold on. Let's stop it right.
He said to have some integrity. Look, Kwame, you said to have some integrity, and in the very same mannerism and behavior, you sit out here and expose this man on live, dog. Did you have integrity then, bro? Did you have integrity then? You said you want to have integrity now about talking about old shit because you know it's going to bring that heat. But yet the very same act of malice was executed by you. You did the exact same thing, but you put a twist on it. It's a lot of shit that's adding up now. You know what I'm saying? You put a twist on it. You try to separate yourself because they said a drunken man words is a sober man thoughts. This nigga tried to separate himself from his action, and y'all will hear about that a little bit later.
Right there with what you just said, because I agree. So how do you feel about Earl Spence doing at the I.O.?
I wasn't. I mean, at the time when it,
He threw him under the bus. I'm keeping it on. He called a nigga on the live. He embarrassed the nigga in front of everybody based off of some shit that you told somebody else and somebody told him. How do you feel about Earl Spence doing that?
Yeah. So
since you hold him accountable, I want to hear it.
Yeah. At the time that he did it, I was happy. I'm just keeping it on. At the time that he did it,
why was you happy?
Why was
this nigga talk about integrity, but his entire destination was to get closer to Errol Spence Jr. because he wanted the spot. Because he was happy that Errol Spence embarrassed I.O.T.B.A. Even I have made light about, Corey, and what he got himself into. It wasn't anything for me to be happy about because I didn't have any motive to be happy. I wasn't in it for no particular reason. I was just saying, he fucked up again. You know what I'm saying? But Kwame was up here speaking about integrity. And Black Picasso asked that question like, why you didn't feel some type of way about Spence? And see, a real man look at it like, it don't matter what status you have as a man. I consider myself to be one also. Even though we might not be the same status in life as far as income, wealth, or how many people know me and how many people know you, as a man, we should still be able to communicate on some real man shit if it comes down to that. So what he's talking about, integrity doesn't have to come from status quo or come from anything that you have to have permission. No, it's something that you have within yourself, man. You know what I'm saying? Your core values as a nigga. You know what I'm saying? Their core values to speak up and say, this is the way I feel about it. I disagree with what Spence was doing to Corey too. You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of shit if Kwame would have said it, but Kwame said he was happy. Kwame was like, hell yeah, this is all I'm looking for, nigga. You know what I'm saying? He was happy that Spence embarrassed him. He was happy.
Why was I happy?
Yes, sir.
Because of this reason. Like I said, if you and I is cool and you at a level where you could put me on to do stuff, and I'm saying, hey, I support you, I fuck with you, I support you, and I fuck with you. And then there's one time where you say, hey, you know what, Kwame, I can't allow you to do X, Y, and Z with me this time, but I still fuck with you. And then I go behind to people that you know, and say, you know what? Damn, I wish E3 failed on this show. That's fucked up. Point blank, period. No matter how you put it, that's fucked up.
So he's trying to act like he's an Errol Spence advocate, when what he's doing is keeping distance from taking full responsibility from him being the backstabber. That's what it is. See, the whole point he's trying to make is to pretend like he's on Team Spence. So he's advocating. He's the PR for Team Spence when he's not. He felt some type of way about Corey saying that about Spence, hoping he lose so he can fire Derrick James. And he literally took it like he was wishing failure upon Spence in a malice way. I don't ever think I.O. felt bad about Spence in a way to wish bad upon him in his career, to take a loss and to see his downfall. I think it was more so like what happened in the locker room. Derrick James himself was absolutely the person that was the trigger. That was the trigger. So for I.O.T.B.A. to have Errol Spence take up for him in the locker room, and you bring it to this scenario right here with Kwame. Kwame is trying to say, well, I was looking out for Errol Spence. I just felt like we were so cool, man. And I really I think he's a nice guy. And then, he really felt that he was going to slide into that space. He really didn't process the whole picture that as black men, if one black or two black mess it up, it's going to be hard for the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10, 20, 30, 40 black get into that situation. That's just the way it is. He couldn't have thought that he was going to be next in line just because you was up here feeling some type of way about Correa saying, well, I hope he lose so he can fire Derrick James. No, his projection was Derrick James. When he pulled back the string to the bow, he was aiming directly at Derrick James. Now, just so happened, Errol Spence's name was in there, and then it did sound bad. It did sound bad, but there's more to it. It's more to it, y'all.
And it's not like here's the situation. I'm just trying to say it in a way where I'm just not getting too into detail and still trying to be respectful, because I'm not trying to start a whole bunch of shit. What I'm saying is, you have to, if you feel like that, you have to be able to stand on that, because you learn in life that it's niggas will be cool with you until you tell them no. You can lend a nigga $1 million, and the first time you tell a nigga I can't lend you no money, you're the worst person in the world. And it's not like I.O.T.B.A told me this shit and I was just like, I'm gonna be a snake ass nigga, because I know how the story was painted, but I keep it 100 with you. It's not like I.O.T.B.A said this shit and I just ran back to Earl Spence, like, or to Earl people and was like, yo, I.O.T.B.A said this. Nah, that shit, he said that shit months. But as time progressed, I.O.T.B.A started to do the same shit to me.
Yeah, look, the whole preface on what Kwame is at with it is that he's trying to advocate for Spence. He's really thinking at that point in time, and he wanted to be a part of Team Spence. He feel like he put the E word in there, y'all. He said entourage. So he's up here saying that I knew about this information, and he's giving you bits and pieces on the wishing part of it. You know what I'm saying? The wishing part of it. And then he's talking about the actions that I.O.T.B.A was doing to others, preferably, projected towards Derrick James and them, to now he's saying it's bleeding over to him. Now he's a victim. He's already attempting to indirectly, secretly take up for Team Spence. Now he wants to put himself in it and say, I'm in the process of taking up for Team Spence. I feel that you're treating me wrong too. I'm feeling some type of way too. You're hurting me inside. I don't like what you're doing. I really want to be a part of the team, and you're really separating both of us. That's what Kwame was thinking about. Kwame was saying, you're separating both of us. If this shit get to a certain level and they know me and you are this, that, now, that's going to affect me. And he talking about you knew for months. When you hold on, when you first get a hold of something and you still hold that shit in the grip, you still got it in your hands, you're never going to be able to have control of life. How are you going to hold other things and you got all this other baggage in both of your hands? It's never going to work. So it's going to come a time and place there, Kwame, where you drop that shit off. And that's exactly what you did, Correa. You dropped that shit off.
When we were cool. I'm just being 100 with you. And I.O.T.B.A can say yay or nay about it, however you want to say. I.O.T.B.A had a huge following on Facebook. Still has a great, huge following on Facebook, right? I was the person who came to I.O.T.B.A and said, brother, with all of the Facebook people that you have, you need to be on YouTube. When I.O.T.B.A wasn't able to get a press pass and stuff like that, and I'm going to just leave that where that is at, I was the guy who went to I.O.T.B.A and said, I.O.T.B.A, you big enough not to have to depend on these people to get a press pass. Get your YouTube.
Kudos to you. Clap it up. Clap it up. Kwame, let me enlighten you into something. You know how WCS did it. I showed up. I wasn't on here strolling up my articles and shit. I just pretty much started making phone calls and showing up to the fights without press credentials. For somebody who does not cover fights, you showing up trying to put yourself in a position as if you are the manager, the advisor. How many fights have you covered? How many fights have you covered, bro? You giving Correa all this advice. But when pressed and asked about certain areas that concern them brothers, you couldn't give yourself advice and say, hey, I'm gonna step up out of here, man. But Spence, you know, he has so much left in his career. He has so many dang other fighters to challenge. You know what I'm saying? I don't agree with him, just playing out on what he got going on. I don't agree with it. You know, as a man, I gotta step away from it. Real talk. But I hope y'all respect me, but I gotta step away from this shit. You was never in that position to do that because you just don't have it in you to do it. Real talk. You just don't have it in you to do it, brother. You just don't have it in you. Just be real about it. You just don't have it in you, man. You acting like you're advising Correa. Hey, man, you're bigger. You can get credentials, man. Come on. You're bigger than this. Start up a YouTube channel. You're bigger than this. What else did you get him? Because truth be told, what type of services do you have? If this man has gotten you into the locker room, what type of service could you provide to equal him getting you into the after party after the fight with the champ? Do you think those services is providing him? You're providing him with ideas that you didn't create. You're like, oh man, you're bigger than this. You can go get credentials. You can do it on your own. Start a YouTube channel rather than Facebook. You can do it. You can do it. I mean, that doesn't add up to what he did for you, bro. He got you in the presence of the champ. He got you with the entourage. You know what I'm saying? He got you in the after party. People that wouldn't call you up if they was just coming in and texting and say, hey, let's hit up Kwame. And without anybody in the entourage saying, for what, nigga? Are you high? What we gonna bring him on here for? You heard what he did? That nigga, he all about telling on niggas.
Tube shit going. And be like these other guys, Boxing, Ego, Fred, all these guys who are able to go get their press credentials where they won't have to depend on anyone else. You self-made. You already had a connection because you connected to the fighter. And he and I were working on something together, and then his ego got in the way, and he started being disrespectful. That's what happened. If you really want to know, and like I said, I don't want to go into a whole bunch of
stuff, bitch, nigga. Stop on her lying.
Nigga, I'm not gonna argue with
what's
you. So listen, you can talk as much as you want. You can talk as much as you want and yell.
Hey, loyal to the game. Let's hear I.O. side of the story. Hold on, I want to hear this shit. Go ahead, I.O.
This lame ass nigga gonna get on here and tell a falsified ass lie. Now, look, one thing he did say that was true. We was cool. You know what I'm saying? We was real cool, right? So, being cool with him, he knew that me and Derrick James had a problem, right? He knew that. And this bitch ass nigga, we was on my show arguing about who was the better trainer out of Derrick James and Bo-Mac.
That's not,
nigga,
that's not correct.
Nigga, man, shut up, fam.
That's not correct. It was
shut up. I'm talking. You done said all the shit you was saying. I put this on my dead son who died 2 years ago. We was on there arguing about who was the better trainer out of Derrick James and Bo-Mac. You know, this was when I was on some fuck Derrick James type shit. You know what I'm saying? This nigga gonna say he couldn't fuck him in the debate, so he gonna say on there live, and this on my dead son, may God kill me and my whole family. This bitch ass nigga, because he knew that me and Derrick had problems. He gonna say on live when nobody else knew around the world, but this bitch ass nigga, he gonna say, oh, you just saying that because you and Derrick James ain't cool no more. Nigga, on my dead son, if I'm lying, God could kill me right now. And where he got mad at is why I called him. I said, you a bitch ass nigga. I said, you a Uncle Tom ass nigga. I said, why would you even let the world know that me and Derrick James into it? If me and Derrick James ain't even let the world know we was into it. Nigga, we was arguing about a fucking debate. Yeah, just because I was saying Bo-Mac was a better trainer and he couldn't take that shit, the girliness inside him, he gonna say, you just saying that because you and Derrick James into it, and that shit spread it to where everybody knew that then. And when I was calling him Uncle Tom's and calling him all type of bitch niggas for saying that shit on, this nigga wrote me paragraphs on my fucking message. You know, I wish I still had that phone because that shit would have been now. My wife, right? She my wife. Now she right here right now. He wrote me paragraphs. I said, baby, look at this bitch ass nigga. He talking about, oh, how can you talk to me like that? Nigga, what the fuck you mean? How can I talk to you like that? How could your dumb ass open up your mouth and say live on Earl? You just saying that because me and Derrick James into it when nobody in the fucking world knew me and Derrick James was into it.
All right, hold up. I'm gonna fast forward it because this is a long line. I'm gonna try to fast forward, you know, so we can get to the thumbnail. All right. Once again, if you want to look at this in its entirety, go over to the Black Picasso E-Thriller and check it out.
When it was time for us to go on, I didn't get no invite. Now this is something we supposed to be building together.
Bro, I don't even remember that.
Of course you don't remember, but I remember it.
Bro, I don't. Kwame,
you still.
You talking about the next day?
I just allowed you to say your piece.
Let him finish, bro.
Ray, I allowed you to say your piece.
Go ahead, Kwame.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Kwame.
It went into the next day because that night was over. I thought it was over. You said what you said. We spoke. The next day, I got no invite to the show that we were supposed to be building together. And then you had another guy on there talking about what I did and talking about me, as you said, in front of the world. And then, see, because you made it seem like, oh, I just was texting you paragraphs. I was texting you during the show based on what you were saying about me in front of everybody because of what I said the night before. And then, as
I woke up that morning.
I gotta finish. Because I mean, it's evident that I have a better memory of what happened than you do.
You got to stay entitled. He got to act like he's still in control of everything, except taking responsibility. Somebody talking about you on live is not the same as somebody talking about what was said between Correa and Derrick James. It's not the same. I know you would like yourself to be in that same box of priority, but you're not. You know what I'm saying? But you're not. You're not in the same box, brother.
All right, okay.
Right. So the next day when we were supposed to do a show, this is 24 hours later, after I said whatever I said, I got no invite. You had someone else on the show, and you were talking about me publicly to everybody. That's not what brothers do, first off. They don't do that. And then I sent you text messages while you were on the show talking about me to everybody. And your response was, shut up. You like a little girl, this, that, and the other. And then that's when I stated, see, now I'm gonna let you know how it happened and you got caught. I'm gonna let you know. So in that text, because I remember the situation. In the text message, I sent you.
We're gonna keep it at that.
Because he's about to crack open, you know, the shit we've been waiting on since he was pressed by Picasso in the panel, you know, early in the live. He's about to let everybody know, like, they asked this nigga this shit 20 days ago, and he's just coming full pledge to I'm gonna let you know. Because all I was doing was trying to goddamn practice my role with CSI and see if I was good for the part or not. But now I think we've been on here long enough. I got my practice in. I'm gonna let y'all know how Correa got caught, how I.O. got caught. Now it's time to crack the case. Chang.
So you said it's something about you gonna let me.
How does this work? Does he talk and just say his shit?
Let this nigga finish talking, bro, so we get off here. I'm trying to come to some sort of conclusion.
But instead of talking, E3, I talked for a minute and a half. I shut up. He go on for 5 minutes.
You know why he's
I.O. Now you talk more than that, bro. Let this nigga finish, bro. Go ahead, Lloyd.
Thank you. So I'm gonna tell you how you got caught, because when I was texting you during the show, I text you that I said, damn, nigga, I said, that's fucked up. I said, but I should have expected that because you turned on Earl because Derrick wouldn't let you in the gym. And then you responded to that shit saying, so what, bitch ass nigga? And I sent it to Earl people.
Bing! Boom. I mean, why did it take so long for you to come there of marshmallow stopping the outer projection on integrity? Because you did mention integrity earlier. But just because he said what he said, does that give you the gear shift to throw that bitch in reverse and tear up the transmission, nigga? Did that give you that type of energy all because he did not kiss your ass? I'm telling you, we weren't on the same status quo of the Errol Spence. So what you did was, just like they say a lot of times about black people, and hear me out, Kwame, right? I don't have to deal with me cutting you off or you cutting me off, right? Listen, they say a lot about this with black people, that we can meet a black person and we didn't help them build not one step to where they at right now. We didn't build one step. We didn't lay one brick. We didn't do anything. But time we have a situation, that individual that you met while you was already at the elevation, when you was already at the success you were, that one person, that black person that you met, would try their best to tear it all the way down to the first step when it doesn't require that much seriousness, man. You have to look at it this way. It's words at the end of the day. If this man was trying to holler at your wife or something, or trying to break in your house, or do some shit like that, then I can see. But you up here trying to tear down every step when this man provided you services to get close to the champ, because you wasn't there when he initially got close to the champ. You wasn't there coming up with content, Kwame. You wasn't there for the content. You didn't help then I.O.T.B.A. get the status that he did. I could see if you say, well, me and him was chilling, and I said, hey, I.O., why don't you do strolling up my art? If you would have said, okay, I came up with that shit. And also, y'all want to know something else? I came up with Mr. 214. I came up with that shit right there. If you would have gave me those two bits and pieces, I'll say, well, hell, Corey, he built you, nigga. He damn, you should hire this nigga for real. He gave you everything you got. But no, it's some missing pieces. You didn't provide him with that, Kwame. You know, you wasn't the one that was going in that locker room or going to the party with equal notoriety. No, when a nigga walked out with Carlos Ocampo, I was right there. I didn't see you. Like, that nigga walked out. I still remember what Corey had on that night. Nigga might be old, but my memory's still kind of gold. He had on all white, I think. You know what I'm saying? And he walking out, and nigga, you didn't get him to that point. You didn't get him to that point, man. I'm just saying.
That's why Earl called you on the show, because he saw the text message and your response to it.
So wait a minute.
So what Black Picasso is about to ask this nigga? You're saying Earl, because these niggas been pressing Kwame for the minute. How did he find out? How did he find out? Nigga, how did he find out? How did he find out? I didn't speak to Earl. I didn't say, how did he find out? 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 Nigga, keep asking you. Nigga, how did Earl find out, dude? You done went through the whole damn back street and business roads telling how what I.O.T.B.A. said. And how he got mad because, you know, Spence was having a fight camp for Mikey Garcia. They didn't want him in the gym and all this shit. Okay, cool. But you wasn't so forthcoming so easily for yourself. Now, he's about to finally, after 30 motherfucking hours.
So hold on. So you did send it to Earl and his people?
No, I sent it to his people. I don't know Earl like that. I sent to his people, and he...
Bing bong. Yeah, he sent it to his people, y'all. Isn't that what Black Picasso on the panel was pressing this nigga about? Wasn't that what they was talking about, nigga? They freaking asked you this shit long time ago, man. And you talking about no, I didn't talk to Earl. I didn't talk to. See, that's some bitch ass shit right there, nigga. Because you were talking to Earl. You know why you was talking to Earl? Because he the one that called Correa out on live, and you say he embarrassed him, right? So you were talking to him. You didn't have to damn talk to the nigga directly. How do you think people end up dead and in jail and harm caused? It's not everybody says something or did something directly to a nigga. Usually it was something they did to somebody else or said to somebody else or whatever the case, and somebody else responded, or it got back to that person. But you just said, yeah. I guess you had used up all the helium, and then you say, oh yeah, I did. I sent to his people.
Okay, so you knew. Hold on. So you knew it was gonna get back to Earl, though, right?
Yes, that was my point. At that point,
that was his point.
So, all right, so let me just say this real quick. So, E3, he said,
I'm listening, man.
I know we can cut it off this. I'm
listening. I'm listening. Good.
He said that he was drinking too much, and he should have said what he said. Then he said, so he shouldn't expect me to still be mad the next day after this nigga done blabbed on YouTube.
Man, that sounds like something Blood would do, man. You must be type.
So check this out, right? What I skipped over is that when he admitted that he was drinking some rum, and once again he padded that shit by saying he was Caribbean. So I guess we should blame Spence for being Jamaican, right? I don't know a lot of Jamaicans that drink like that, so I can't say that. But he said he's Caribbean. So at that time, what I skipped over is that he said he was drinking some rum. But Correa said, I've been around this nigga. I ain't seen you drink not a day in life, God damn it. But you was drinking that day. You was drinking some rum, so that's why you fell out with Derrick James. And if I'm not mistaken, I think I remember that day. I think I was sitting there and listening on that live. I think I remember that shit. You know what I'm saying? I think I remember that shit. I'm not sure, but it ain't about me. It's the fact that it took you so long to come out with the truth about this shit. And you knew it was going to get back to Arrow. And Arrow did go up there and embarrass. But Correa have to take culpability in this shit, knowing, hey, listen, nigga, you in a damn good spot that a lot of niggas would want to be, and you can't bring everybody along with you. If you would have been mature 5 years ago, it was nothing to say, okay, it's cool that you have the flamboyant, boisterous, you know what I'm saying, ostentatious type personality that you got. Okay. But you should have been able to know you had to put limits and cap on that, knowing that you was on a team that was going somewhere. You know what I'm saying? They had plans to go somewhere, especially how popular Errol Spence is in Texas. They had plans to go places. And you know that the people that wanted to travel with you that wasn't there in the beginning, you shouldn't have been so easily there to take them with you. Because it ended up being your fucking downfall. Having a snake like Kwame with you, bro. That nigga gonna goddamn say he was drinking and that's why he said it on live. No, nigga, you just said, yeah, I was on live and I made a poor decision and you know, I apologize. Because he ended up apologizing for the shit.
Blood. Man, niggas snitching like
Say he wouldn't say Fish. He don't think I'm gonna be upset. The next day,
first off, snitching is when a person.
Nah, you can define the game, bro. You just owned up to it, bro.
I owned up to it. Listen.
Now this nigga's trying to define what a snitch is.
Let me say this real quick, and I'm gonna let you and I.O. have it for about.
No, I'm done, bro. I'm done.
Okay, but yeah, like, bro, regardless of what y'all had going on, you had no business sending that shit to Earl or whoever, bro. In my personal opinion.
At all.
Man, I think that's why I.O. so mad, bro. Don't you think?
Hey, that's how he took it. I mean,
you don't think you wrong for that? You just said what you did, bro. That's why he was mad. Like that was malicious, bro. You had a ulterior motive to say, well, fuck it. He did me like this, so I'm gonna do him like that.
That's some real nigga shit, ain't it? I ain't gonna lie, ain't that some real nigga shit they saying? This nigga tried to go ahead and explain what a snitch was, and then they capped that shit off quick. They shut that down quick, bro.
And it's the Earl now.
Hey, man, the text took it over
bro.
Hey, check this out. Hey, E3, I said earlier I was gonna grab him by his thumb, man, and throw him out the ring, man. This a ladder match, so we go ahead and do this, my nigga.
Already, man. Hey, man. Shout out to everybody that pulled up on the panel.
Hey, E3, my bad, bro.
No, we good. I'm just glad we got some sort of conclusion to all the rumors.
I'm glad the truth out there now.
Yeah.
Niggas been saying that I've been lying for 5 years.
Only police we love is Last Puma. Last Puma, real police. We don't want
the fake police. Niggas been saying I've been lying.
Straight up. We don't fuck with the whole blood.
Let's hear what I.O. got to say, man. Go ahead, I.O.
I say niggas been saying I've been lying about this shit for 5 years. This nigga get on here and say, "Oh, I said that because I was drinking too much. You was talking to me like this, nigga. When you talk, this nigga say he kept getting mad at me because, nigga, I kept trying to. I can't not go at you like I'm going at everybody else. You think I'm finna be soft at you, and then you get in your feelings about that because I can't agree with you. I'm supposed to just agree with you on shit." Because you think we real tight. This is a perfect example, E3. You don't give a fuck who I am. Nigga, if you got a disagreement with me, nigga, you gonna argue that shit to the core, nigga. And you ain't gonna go give 2 fucks. It ain't gonna be no feelings or emotions involved like that, nigga. That's what boxing talk is about. I've been trying to tell the world for this, right? Nigga been lying like a motherfucker, bro. Just
And I'm gonna leave it at that. Why? Because hey, when it comes down to what you just said, Al, if you would have had that same mentality back 5 years ago and understood that every nigga is not gonna be able to handle, every nigga cannot acclimate themselves to what you were starting back then. You was used to the heat and the temperature, but you can't bring a nigga close to the temperature that's used to melting under pressure. That shit comes with experience and maturity. You bought a nigga in there that will melt when goddamn shit starts to just get a little bit of hot. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just comes with maturity. I'm not here to bring up old shit, but it was real. You know what I'm saying? It was real that when it comes down to him getting mad, you know, somehow, some way, the way he gravitated to you is the same way that he tried to send you to your demise. He gravitated to you because you had the pull and you had the freaking the notoriety on Facebook and the exposure, and you had the personality. That's what Kwame gravitated to. But the same gravitation, you know, caused him to lose the axis. You know, the nigga fell off the axis. He didn't understand what the rotation was, and he started making it about himself. You know what I'm saying? And that's why you were saying, like, nigga, I supposed to be soft around you. No, you over here because of the way I'm acting and the way I talk to people and the way I do this boxing talk. You know what I'm saying? That's why you what gravitated you over here. But now when it come to me and you taking it like, oh man, come on, man. I didn't expect you to do this, man. Can you feed me some applesauce, please? I need some applesauce. I need to calm down. Mommy used to feed me some applesauce when I was younger. I need you to feed me some applesauce and make it Gerber applesauce, not the adult applesauce. Man, we ain't doing that in boxing talk. That's not the way we do it over here, bro. Unfortunately, man, it's like too late to even think that shit's gonna change. Too many years have passed by. This nigga Kwame apologized after all that time, after niggas pressing him and asking him legitimate core questions. They asking you legitimate core questions, nigga. How did the information get to Spence? How did the information get to Spence? Did you tell him, nah, I ain't talked to him. I ain't talked to him. No, you want to goddamn say, okay, I didn't. At the end of the day, you know, I didn't talk to him. I talked to somebody else who talked to him. It was his people. His people mean you talking to him. Else you wouldn't put his on it, nigga. You wouldn't put HIS on it. That's why every time when I saw a soft ass over there, I'll say, there he is, just loyal to the boxing game. That nigga took a nigga out his spot, all because he said some shit. You know, look, if I've been in the camp and it's an issue with a coach, right? And they didn't want him in there because they was doing some other shit, and Arrow had to lose extra weight. They didn't want him in there. Maturity wise, okay, yeah, he might have jumped the gun by being a little bit upset. But if you be upset, you should have been upset in silence if you totally didn't trust the nigga that was around you to vent that. You know what I'm saying? You might have trusted Kwame just a little bit too much to vent that shit. Kwame up here talking about, how could you do that? They let you in all the other times, and all of a sudden you get denied entry for the Mikey Garcia fight, and you're talking. No. This is not it. Who did he fight before Mikey Garcia? So therefore, it wasn't just the Mikey Garcia being denied entry. It's Derrick James saying, "Nah, man, shut that shit down." Derrick James had it in already. You know, he just didn't like the nigga. See, even further, this is not even my live stream. Like I said, it's E3 the Black Picasso's live stream. But even then, you look at what happened to freaking Blu-ray Fitness. Same thing. Niggas was getting too much shine. There's two niggas that was getting too much shine than Derrick James liked. For real. Two niggas getting too much shine, dog. Now, if you're a sparring partner, yeah, you can go in there and get work all day and you can get access to the gym. But Blu-ray Fitness, a lot of niggas was tuned in. I remember a lot of niggas talking about Blu-ray. You know, Blu-ray. This nigga was getting shine. His brand was going. Derrick James shut that shit down. Correa, people was finally finding out off Facebook that this nigga really locked in with Team Spence. All right, niggas want, oh shit, this nigga legit. Boom, they start getting closer and closer. Derrick shut that shit down. It looked bad what I.O.T.B. said. It did. It looked bad what you said, but where you directed that to wasn't where it landed. Where you sent it to, you didn't send it to the final destination. You sent it to a nigga that's supposed to have a lookout for you and say, okay, we just talking shit. And that's what it is. You didn't send it directly to the team. You sent it to a nigga that you sort of trusted that wasn't gonna goddamn stab you in the back. And that's what he did. And that's a lesson learned. That nigga's wrong. Kwame, you was wrong for that shit, bro. You took a nigga out his spot that really wasn't understanding. I mean, well, you didn't understand how much work a nigga put in to get the spot. You didn't understand how much work a nigga put to get in that spot. You know how much it takes to damn support a fight in your hometown like that, and to get that fighter to show that type of love to you, what goddamn they trust you enough to be around them and what they got going on. Come on, bro. You don't take credit for that. You weren't nowhere close. You want to take credit. That's fucked up. Real talk. You sent that shit and you escalated it there, Kwame. You escalated this shit, bro. It took you 5 motherfucking years. That's some coward ass, bum ass shit you did, bro. And I don't feel no type of way. Like, I don't know the nigga. I seen him up in Texas. I don't know him like that. I ain't worried about it. I'm just telling you straight up. That's some bum ass shit you did. Real talk. It took you 5 years to apologize. You knew it was some lies out there of him, you know, having some a mobile phone or whatever, him being knocked out, and you sat on that shit for 5 fucking years, nigga. You sat on that lie for 5 years, and then it took a panel full of solid brothers to press you on the shit to get it out of you. Man, you soft, man. You're a fucked up individual, real talk. That shit fucked up, dog. Seriously. You that same nigga I used to see laying down all the time. Lazy ass snail nigga. You know what I'm saying? Lazy ass slimy snail looking nigga. For real. You sat on a lie for 5 fucking years and you couldn't have another drink of rum, nigga, and goddamn get on live and say, you know what? I just want to tell y'all something. That stuff that y'all hearing about I.O.T.B.A, nah, that shit ain't true, man. I'm just putting that shit to bed. Because I've been up here acting like it is true. So I'm gonna put that shit to bed. You never even gave him the opportunity, bro. That's just fucked up. I ain't gonna lie. That shit fucked up. That's fucked up, bro. Shout out to Shaw News and Sauce Experience, man. AK Showtime Shaw. Salute to you, big dog. You know what I'm saying? Derek, AK Punchy, ain't right in the head. He is jealous, nigga. He punch drunk, but what do I do? You know, I tried to have some niggas like I.O.T.B., you know, try to sit up here and say some shit like, I'm mad at Spence and I don't do no, not even. I went up there and I supposed to have a Spence interview. See, lies like that, nigga like me, I have to address it thoroughly. And anyone who know me by now, I can put my words together very well. I can. You know what I'm saying? And see, if I would have let a lie get out like that, people might have started to believe it. When some people don't do the fact checking. A nigga going to a top rank card to cover T.O., but that nigga put out that I was going up there for an interview with Errol Spence. Now, how in the hell I'm gonna get an interview with Errol Spence and see like what happened with Correa and shit? Real talk. Like, are y'all processing that shit? These niggas ain't processing the shit. They just want to be there. Like, this is the same nigga that would have been in the spot Kwame had. He was an Errol Spence fanboy. I ain't got nothing. Look, I ain't got nothing with I.O.T.B. I'm just keeping this shit a thou wow. The nigga put out there that I went up there and goddamn, I didn't get an interview with Errol Spence. How am I gonna get an interview with Errol Spence? I don't know the nigga like that. I don't know how long it took Correa to get up in that spot. How am I gonna get a one-on-one interview? What content creator outside of a media scrum that was getting interviews with Errol Spence? What nigga you know that was that close than Correa? So how me? Look, niggas always complain about my job. How niggas like me, right? How did I link up to get past Derrick James and whoever else to get a one-on-one interview? So if y'all hear that bullshit ass lie, you know from here, that's as much as I'm breaking it down. You know it's a bunch of crap because I got full T.O. Fimo Lopez footage that time, and I walked out to the ring with him. Ain't no YTC creator say they can goddamn do that. Ain't no team can damn take responsibility for that shit or nothing. My boy that got me into it and helped me out, he can. Boxing related. But you got to be careful. Niggas will sit up here and put information out on you, and then you don't defend yourself. Then they're like, oh man, you didn't say nothing about it, man. I've been telling y'all for years and years this shit wasn't true. How can you sit on the lie for 5 years, nigga? 5 years. And then it take for me to do a motherfucking lie because I'm thinking about the shit like, okay, what if I.O.T.B.A still would have been tight with the group heading into this undisputed fight? It potentially could have changed the game of the YTC because back then it was Facebook orientated. You talking about a nigga that's not heavy on YouTube, but if he was able to maintain that slot he had in Texas with Spence all the way up to this fight July 29th, it would have been a story to tell. It would have been a documentary like, damn, this nigga been with him since he had the IBF title all the way up to July 29th to fight for Undisputed. And I was thinking about it, all that shit that happened in between. I said, let me do a live on it. You know what I'm saying? And it's good that the shit was able to come out the way it did. But I still think none of this changed who Kwame truly is a person. Because the nigga sat on the lie for 5 years. You know what I'm saying? That nigga I.O.T.B. love having some Kwame on his motherfucking panel. I always said it when I seen that nigga when I was on the panel. I ain't never sit up there and cordial with it. I say, man, no, fuck it, nigga. You always trying to act like you articulating some shit. No, I see all through that. I knew about that nigga already. That nigga sat on the lie for 5 fucking years, bro. And then gonna say the reason why I did that was because I'm Caribbean and I drunk some rum. Fuck that, nigga. You lying. You motherfucking lying, dog. Shout out to I.O.T.B.A. Boxing Talk on deck, man. You know what I'm saying? For sure, no doubt. Shout out to Tyrese. Shout out to Tyrese, man, with a $2 super check. He said Kwame is a ratastic, backstab at finest. Ratastic. Man, who gonna sit on something for 5 fucking years, dog? You look, you tore you demonstrated exactly what they say about black people tearing shit down all the way down to the first motherfucking step, dog. You sending that shit to Errol's people, you tore that shit. You didn't even give him his freaking mantra, the 214 strolling. You didn't give him none of his personality. You didn't give him nothing, but yet you talk about, oh, I was up there telling him he's bigger than this. Go get a credential to a fight. You're bigger than this. No, nigga. Did you give him 214? Did you say strolling up your articles? Did you say all that shit? No, you didn't. But you want to take credit for, I told you to start it on the YouTube. I told you. I was the one. Nigga, stop. Nigga, if you had all that in you, you should have started up your own shit. What happened to Kwame's motherfucking group over there? What happened to his group? That shit got taken down. Thank you. You're a sucker. Niggas up there asking Kwame for motherfucking straight over and over again. Well, how did the information get there? How did the information get there? And you just beating around the fucking bush. And then at the damn near the end of the live, you know, I apologize. That's after he's saying, oh, I'm Caribbean and I had some. Oh, fuck that, nigga. You sit up there and take responsibility as a sober human being. I see how you and Derrick James got into it. Y'all both be turning nothing into something. A class of discreditors of Crawford. Disloyal to the boxing game is Snake. Look at him now. Still a Spence groupie worshiper. No, he wanted the spot. See, you know, some cats don't look at the bigger picture. You know what I'm saying? Where they trying to go. They don't look at the bigger picture on how they plan on getting there. You know what I'm saying? They might just look at, oh man, I wish I was in that place, but they don't have no freaking idea on how to come up with the admin logistics on how to get to that motherfucker. They just say, oh man, so-and-so there. So some of them want to be a passenger. You got to be very careful about passengers, bro. You know what I'm saying? Having a carload full of niggas ain't always great. You got to be careful about the passengers. If a nigga got a ride, tell them to meet you there. I ain't gonna lie, man. That's how I was growing up. When I was going to a club and I thought I was gonna leave with a female or whatever, that was my intentions, you know, whatever. I say, hey man, drive. No, man, let me ride with you. No, I'm not responsible. I have other things going on. If I want to drop by a hotel, I want to drop over her house. Well, I'm good. I'm doing that. I'm not worrying about babysitting. Niggas going in there getting towed up to the floor up drunk, you know, man, and getting up and throwing in my car. No, nigga. I'm thinking ahead of the time for the repercussions, nigga. For real. Terrence a stud. He deserved more credit because we know Bomac ain't training him. He came a long ways. Shout out to Blood Boxing on deck. He said, I have known I.O. for 4 years. He is really disrespectful, but he can turn it on and off. He's smarter than what he makes out. I never knew much about this, so thanks, WCF. Hey, shout out to the OGO deck, man. You already know. See, look, we could never be super cool like that. Me and him. I do shit from a distance, man. I get close enough, whatever, you know. I'm not him because I know my personality. I'm not loud and boisterous, but I can have a personality on this shit. In person, it's quite different. You know what I'm saying? I know my lane. I know what I got to do. But some niggas are loud, and you know, behind the camera and in front of the camera, outside the camera, you got to know when to shut it off. Period. But still don't give a right for a nigga to be sent or have a response to a text with a group of individuals that's not even paying his salary. They don't have anything going on in life. that affects you, whether good or bad. That means you're not making any extra income, nor are you losing any other income. But the way you sent that text out, you act like it was going to punch your golden ticket. Why? What would get you so angry to say, you know what, I want to fuck this nigga over? Like, he just said some words to you. He didn't steal from you. He didn't abuse your family. He didn't abuse you. He didn't put you in harm's way, nigga. Come on, bro. Come on, man. That's just fucked up, dog. That's been the number one Team Spence lie, that they let the snakes and weasels run with everyone be mad that they can't come to the gym. They need a new lie for real. They put that on my jacket. Yeah, man. Like, look, the crazy part about it. Look, the crazy part about it, right, is that I knew when he got his own gym. I thought about this, right? Back then, I thought about when Derek got his own gym. I knew it was gonna be over for a lot of content creators because of how much an asshole he is. Like I'm dressed. Look, a nigga dressed in a blazer, white slacks, media credentials hanging off, collared shirt, and I'm covering a top rank event, dog. I'm covering a top rank event. I'm covering Teofimo Lopez, y'all. Shout out to the Lopezes, man. I'm covering Teofimo Lopez, right? Non-title, none of that shit. I happened to see Derrick James. I told this story about maybe give or take 12 other times. I don't know. Before I can get a word out of this nigga, I don't want no interview. Let me tell you. Let me tell you about this nigga. I'm gonna get some. Since Kwame, Kwame's up here freaking confessing this shit. I'm gonna turn on Usher for a little bit. Look, it took Kwame 5 years. Look how long it took me to find out as the real reason why Derrick James didn't like me. I never met the nigga in my life. But come to find out that Williams Jr. was once upon a time training with Errol Spence, and then they end up linking up with B&B, and they say, "Oh man, this is family," and Derrick James stopped motherfucking communicating with them. So until, yes, I was covering the team at that time. So 2 and 2 together, I had a conversation with Senior. He's like, "What? Man, it was like that because of us. It was because he saw you covering Mike, and Mike used to damn train with Errol at one point in time, wherever it was in I forgot what year it was or whatever." So when he put that tweet out talking about family, Derrick James didn't text them back. Derrick James didn't text them back. He got mad. So when he saw me, he said, "Oh, that's that nigga be covering Williams Jr." Okay. That's what he said. I was on there on some media shit, doing my thing. And this nigga went off on, "Oh man, I don't want no interview. I didn't even ask this nigga for an interview." I was about to say, "Hey, how you doing, coach? How you doing, coach?" But still, I wasn't even acting like I was butthurt about it. I still took a picture with him. You know what I'm saying? I still took a picture. I said, "Okay, whatever that was about." I say, "You mind taking a picture, bro?" I don't know what type of shit Derrick James was on, but I never met the dude in my life, dog. That was the first time, and that nigga was an asshole. I know niggas don't like hearing somebody call him an asshole, but Derrick James, that day, I never met you in life. So the way you responded to me, you was an asshole, bro. We're both in our 50s. They fighting for Errol divided attention, but Spence ain't that type of time lately. Kwame East and Stephen Pope been some snake in the grass, spineless punks from like they man. But that Texas goddamn index, boy, I swear to God, that Texas index back in the day, man, that's a story of his own. I ain't gonna lie. Hey, look who in the building. They go 214. It takes a certain personality to communicate with 214. For real, you gotta have thick skin, man. And you know, I guess you know, it was a lesson learned, man. That nigga came in there, you know what I'm saying, like melted butter. That nigga walked into the furnace before then. That nigga had melted already. Shit, god damn. That nigga got popsicle goddamn exterior. For real, blood. That nigga got popsicle exterior. Oh my God. You don't have to talk to me like that. I was like advocating for Correa. Please, you can do better than this. You don't have to depend on nobody. Yeah, you do. You always got to depend on somebody. You know how difficult it is? If you covered fights, nigga, you would know how difficult it is to get credentials. You always got to keep a rapport. Ain't no Facebook nigga saying, oh, you're bigger than this. No, he still has the network to get the credential. You would know that if you cover the fight. Niggas snitching on their own homies. Hey, they thought they was homies, man. You know what I'm saying? They thought they was homies. Kwame had other direction. Kwame East is a punk ass, soft as butter. Can see the bitch in him respectfully. Look, the niggas was pressing them on some legitimate man talk. Like they weren't even disrespectful. Like, you know what I'm saying? The only person that came in disrespectful, and he should have, it was I.O.T.B.A. He should have came in the way he did, because Kwame was up there spreading motherfucking icing on doo-doo and shit. Oh, let me type that. That's coconut right there. Yeah, that's coconut. That's that premium coconut, that rich coconut too. Yeah. I'm gonna throw a little of that fudge, triple fudge chop. No, nigga. No, they ask you over and over again, and you, I don't know what you mean. No, I ain't tell Spence. If you would have got that taken care of in the first part of the live, then you wouldn't have wasted the dude's live that was on there. Their livelihood. You wasted their time, nigga. So it all makes sense why you took 5 years to even render an apology. And with that, you cushioned it and separated yourself from culpability by saying, oh, I was drinking some rum. I'm Caribbean. I was drinking some rum. I'm Caribbean. You still separated yourself from a sober state. So to me, nigga, you ain't taking responsibility. You put it off on the altered state of mind that you was up there drinking rum. You still faking it. You still faking it. Real talk. You still faking it, nigga. Because what do most people say when they drink? I can't remember. I don't remember everything. No, Kwame remember every fucking thing. He remembered everything to that day. He kept reminding. He kept reminding Correa that, oh, you don't remember. You wouldn't, because you smoked this, that, and the other. You wouldn't remember. But truth be told, a nigga like me, I itemize your damn words, nigga. You said you was drinking rum. You Caribbean. So you was trying to relay to us that you was more fucked up than usual. So if you was more fucked up than usual, and Correa said he don't see you, he ain't seeing you drink a day in your motherfucking life, you ain't telling the motherfucking truth. Because nigga, if you don't drink like that and you was drinking some rum and you was feeling some type of way to sit up here and tell on the nigga that day, that means you was kind of fucked up, right? Your alcohol level was higher than usual. But yet you're gonna separate yourself from sobriety and say, you know what, really blame it on the rum. I'm Caribbean. No, blame it on your stupidity, man. You's a snake ass nigga, man. That's what you are. East Money, what's good? Yeah, I've been calling him disloyal to the boxing game, man. I've been calling that nigga disloyal to the boxing game. That's what he is. No, so the lie was out there that he was got knocked out and somebody so-called shoved the phone somewhere or whatever, right? Right? Just don't visualize it too much, blood. But just understand where I'm at with it, right? For me and you to be hanging out and somebody say, blood, this 4'6" nigga. hey, blood, this 4'6" nigga goddamn knocked you out. And I.O. said he was with Kwame the whole time this supposed to happen. Blood, this 4'6" nigga swung on your ass and knocked you out, dog. Not only that, he violated you, dog, in the worst way. And I was supposed to be the nigga that's rolling with you. I'm right there. And I let the lie sit and marinate for 5 years knowing you didn't get knocked out. No one violated you, but I sat on that shit for years, dog. That's unforgiving. That's unforgiving. Fuck everything else. That's unforgiving, brother. That's unfucking forgiving, that blood. You're gonna sit on a motherfucking lie for 5 years, dog? Or however long it took, knowing y'all was together the whole time, and you're gonna sit up here and say some shit, man. You're a fucked up individual, bro. Just like you said, you was happy that Spence got him on live and embarrassed him. You was happy. You was sitting there, yeah, I'm up next, nigga. I gotcha. No, nigga. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. Oh, you heard of him, blood. You just never paid attention to him, OG. You heard of him. You just never paid attention to him. There's nobody to pay attention to. You know what I'm saying? But every time anybody will tell you, every time I was over there, I dropped in Everything Boxing. I saw that nigga on the panel. I got on the panel just because I knew what type of dude he was. He said, I got to apologize to I.O.T.B. for running with false story. Then now it doesn't excuse the other BS that happened with us. But I'm not one for putting out falsehood on nobody, real talk. I agree, man. I'm not either. You know what I'm saying? I'm not either. You feel me? I mean, not just falsicities, right? That can, but we're talking about a situation that will make another man look a certain way, right? When you're talking about emasculizing a man or violating, right? But if you have another so-called male that's the XY, supposedly, and this nigga is supposed to be in the company of, and he's a part of the whole scenario that's playing out, he know firsthand information. Niggas are asking him, the Black Picasso of the pound, asking this nigga, how did the information? Did you tell Spence? Did you tell Spence? No, we didn't tell. Nigga, how many times does a grown fucking men have to ask you direct questions and you beat around the bush and you didn't say shit? The whole fucking time you didn't say shit until later on in the live, hour done went by. You say, oh, I sent it to somebody, all because he said something in response to what my text was. So you saying, oh, got him. This is what I've been waiting for. I sent it to his people. Now let me ask you this, there, Kwame. How did you even have a contact with any of his people? First of all, was that because of I.O.T.B.A. you got in contact with those people? How did you even come to have them in your contact list or be able to reach out to them? Now, if it was freaking social media, I could see, okay? But if you had phone numbers, I'm inclined to think that it was because of, I.O.T.B.A. getting you where you need to be. He got you into that spot. But anyway, I just thought that it was a fucked up situation back then. You know what I'm saying? I always knew Kwame was a snake. You know what I'm saying? You the same nigga that I was motherfucking calling, right? The time I was trying to call you and you stop picking up your phone. I know why you stopped picking up the phone, because you had gotten the orders. You had gotten the orders. You know what I'm saying? Y'all was told not to holler at me no more. Okay, cool. You did just that because you wanted the motherfucking spot. You wanted the motherfucking spot. I got you. I never spoke on these things. I heard about I.O. I wasn't there. I'm glad I only watched it, even though I.O. a buster. This vindication is deserved for him. Hey man, everybody everybody have they thoughts on the nigga. This is not a live to. I mean, I've been there, done that, man. I don't hate the nigga at all. Never have. I know he don't talk shit behind my back. I don't talk shit behind his back. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you cannot sit up here and be in the company of a nigga without having strong freaking, skin, thickness of skin and have that strong exterior, knowing you were the person that's outspoken like that. You cannot sit up here and be that emotional and say, oh my God, you see, now you're letting the social media bleed over to real life. No, nigga, he was real life like that. And you was real life soft. For real. That nigga was a motherfucking mushroom in the yard. In the grass. That nigga was a mushroom in the grass, dog. That's what he was. He's a mushroom. But hey, you 50 years old. You 50 years old and over in my chat. Looking like your logo, dog. And look, I'll treat you niggas that come over here on the fake accounts just like I spoke on Kwame. You got to separate when a man is speaking on something and when he's actually crying about something. But what even more bitch assness is when you come over in somebody's chat and you're up here trying to pretend like you somebody else. He said, I'm back, just got worked up his chest. Everybody salute. Hey man, we have issues, we have fight cards coming up and everything. And shout out to the Black Picasso, man. I used some of his audio. So y'all want to go over there, check out E-Thriller, the Black Picasso, check out his live, how it all worked itself up to this point. And how Kwame just sit up there and beat around the bush, procrastinated, delayed, fumble, all that shit, tiptoeing, walking on eggshells without answering the questions, prove what type of nigga you are, because they was asking you real solid questions and you proved you wasn't a solid nigga to answer the solid questions. You know what I'm saying? You beating around. No, I didn't send the error. I ain't send the error. And you just got down, just playing the bitch role, man. You should have just told them way ahead of time. You sent it to a third party, nigga. That's just irritating. That shit irritating, bro. It's just real irritating. Seriously. It's just irritating to hear some shit like that. So Mr. Physical Education Conversation. You don't have no content. You know what I'm saying? Just a hole on the stroll. You don't have no content on your channel, just a hole on the stroll. Appreciate you giving me that view, though. Appreciate you pulling up and giving me that view. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you. But those of you that's tuned in, that dropped in for the live stream, this is my last live stream on this situation. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to I.O.T.B.A. It was a moment where, thinking about You know, that nutritionist being on a motherfucking private jet when that could have been you and goddamn Blu-ray. I'm just saying, two brothers removed from the scene, dog, that was getting too much shine from Derrick James. I mean, around Derrick James, getting too much shine. For real. I can't, hell no, man. Hell no. This, hell no. Sent Blu-ray around his way, about his way, sent I.O.T.B.A around his way. Yeah, you can say what you want. You can say what you want, but whoever said that on the live that Derrick James felt like he was sunned or whatever. Yeah, I know that. He probably felt some type of way, but don't they supposed to say Showtime that he's supposed to be working for the fighter? It's not the other way around, is it? Don't the trainer work for the fighter? The trainer's supposed to work for the fighter. So if the fighter said no, he can keep talking, isn't that what goes? I'm just saying. But I guess when you get your own property and you sit up there and say, well, he ain't coming in my building. So you make a choice. It's either him or me. You know what I'm saying? That type of shit. Shout out to the OG Mr. Golden. Salute to you. But people, I'm out. I'm done talking about this topic. Salute. Like I said, go check it out. Eat Through the Black Picasso, man. Check out the whole live stream. Sub to the channel. And also the ones that was on deck, man. Retro boxing documentaries. Check them out. You know what I'm saying? Shaw News the Sauce Experience, aka Showtime Shaw, man. Check him out. Big Blunts and Boxing on deck. Check him out. His channel. I am Cam Edwards. ITC Boxing to you. Check out the Apostles from Omaha. You know what I'm saying? Over there. Check out I.O.T.B.A. Boxing Talk, man. Martin King Boxing. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Tyrese. Thanks for the $2 super chat, my brother. One love to you. Haynes Legacy. Salute to you and the fam, man. You already know. Shout out to the Gumbo, always supporting the channel. Mr. Hot Grease himself, aka Mr. Sucker Free. Yes, sir. Fish and Grits was on deck. Don Vine in the building. You know what I'm saying? Skills from New Orleans. Salute to you. NYT. Massachusetts Fishing and Growing. I'm just going to say mash fishing. That's a long ass motherfucking word. Remind me of Mississippi. MISS, a crooked letter. MI, crooked letter, I. Shit. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my guy Dion Washington. You know what I'm saying? On deck, and Juice Lee in the building. I'm out, shouting.